We got Jikook's moment at the airport, and it was really one of those moments that makes you take a deep breath, like watching a scene from a romantic movie, but it's a real version. All BTS members returned to Korea after completing their schedules. Everything looked normal up to that point. However, what happened between Jungkook and Jimin was really on a different level. As they walked through the flashes of camera lights, journalists, and the crowd that kept asking questions, the two looked very calm. They even looked relaxed with each other, had small talks, smiled at each other, and congratulated each other on the work they had completed. It's like two people understanding each other without needing to exaggerate it, something very natural yet feels so special. However, we all know how the airport situation is when BTS arrives. Chaos began to escalate. The fans are getting closer. The enthusiasm overflowed, and the atmosphere became quite suffocating. Especially on Jimin's side, when some female fans started running towards him. And that's where the moment happened. A small but very meaningful moment. Jungkook, without thinking, without the slightest hesitation, reacts before his mind even completely processes the situation. He immediately moved, pulling Jimin and placing him behind him, as if creating an automatic barrier between Jimin and the crowd. The way Jungkook does it is not with rough or excessive movements. The movements are so smooth, natural, almost like an instinctive reflex. It's as if his body already knows exactly what to do when it comes to Jimin. And that's exactly where the intensity lies. It doesn't look like something made up for cameras or fans. It was pure Jungkook being himself, protecting Jimin without realizing that millions of people might be watching the small gesture. For those who often follow moments like this, we know that this is not the first time. Jungkook often shows this kind of reaction to Jimin, especially at the airport where the situation is very unpredictable. In the midst of the euphoric crowd, Jungkook can often be seen holding Jimin's arm, guiding him, making sure he's okay, making sure he doesn't feel overwhelmed, and being able to walk calmly among the crowd. It was clear that Jungkook understood that situations like this were not always comfortable for Jimin. And this is where everything feels even more special. This is not just physical protection. It's like an emotional connection, constant attention, a kind of emotional radar, where Jungkook is always on the lookout when it comes to Jimin, as if he automatically prioritizes Jimin's comfort and safety without needing to say it. This moment really feels like a fanfiction scene. Scenes that usually make us say, this is too perfect to be real. But this is real. Caught on camera. Recorded on video. Witnessed by many people. And that's what makes it even more impactful, because it's not a made-up story, but rather a small act that speaks a lot without words. In the end, it's small details like these that make everything feel so sincere. So close. So because behind the scenes, the spotlight, and everything about being a BTS, moments like this show a real connection. Togetherness that cannot be faked, which can be felt without the need for long explanations. Today, the movie BTS, The Return, was officially released to the world, and there are some favorite scenes that not only show the images, but also the emotions that are left behind long after the screen goes dark. The process of making this film was a great honor. It's not just about documenting BTS, but accompanying them through a very important phase of life. The phase of separation, reflection, and now the return phase. Seeing BTS at this point feels like being near something intimate and big. Something that is difficult to explain in words, but it feels so clear. There is a special energy in every moment. A mixture of nostalgia and hope that permeates every scene, gaze, and pause. What left the most impression was the opportunity to see not only the public image of BTS that the world recognizes, but their human side. The calm reflection in their eyes, the vulnerability that emerges in unexpected moments, the brotherhood that remains strong even in the midst of exhaustion, and the calm courage to start over when the rest of the world is watching. Thank you to the BTS members for their trust and openness. to HYBE Big Hit Music and Netflix who helped bring this story to audiences around the world. Also to the entire production team who worked with dedication and heart. And of course to the ARMY. Because without ARMY, this story wouldn't have the same meaning. The song Swim is not just a musical decision, but a symbol of the transformation, growth, and self-redefinition phase of the BTS members. From the beginning they were aware that this song was a risky choice. This song is different from their usual style. Softer. More introspective. It does not stomp immediately but slowly diffuses. RM describes it as a song that does not force to be heard, but accompanies it. Jungkook also agreed that this is not the type of song that immediately hits from the first second, but rather a song that unfolds slowly over time. J-Hope even admitted to having doubts before hearing it to others. Suga reminded that something similar happened when Dynamite was released, a song that was also doubtful but ultimately very well received. V shared the song selection process with his best friend, explaining that out of several brighter and more striking song choices, they chose the softest, one that could be heard over and over again without getting tired. Jimin himself admits that many people might expect a more energetic song. But he also agreed that if BTS wants to take a risk, this is the right moment. And that's where the power of Swim lies. Not a song made to meet expectations, but born out of honesty, artistic maturity, and courage to grow. Swim eventually became a symbol of transition. Evidence that growth is not always convenient but necessary. That BTS is not afraid to change as long as it truly represents themselves in this phase of life. They understand that becoming a global artist isn't just about sticking to a proven formula, but also about daring to show a different side of themselves. A calmer, more reflective, and more mature side. A side that might not immediately explode in the listener's ears, but rather lingers in the heart. This song is like a long breath after a very long journey. Like a necessary pause before taking another step. And precisely because of that, Swim feels so personal. This isn't a song that screams to be heard. It's a song that invites the listener to pause, feel, and delve deeper into their emotions. A song that doesn't demand attention, but offers companionship. For BTS, this isn't just a lead single. It's an artistic statement. That they're not afraid to evolve. That they're not afraid to take risks. That they're confident enough in their journey to say, this is who we are now. And perhaps that's why this song holds a meaning far greater than just a musical composition. It's a reflection of a phase of life. A reflection of a time of return, a time of reflection, and a time of renewal. Because ultimately, true growth isn't about getting louder, bigger, or flashier. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.